welcome to GGSP. I'm Rad, and today we honor the brave astronauts who first stepped on the moon 50 years ago. How? With video games. Let gravity settle you into the couch as we conquer new planets in the space colony simulation, oxygen not included. Also, we're gonna flex our level-building muscles in a review of Super Mario Maker 2. All that plus gaming news and more.
Oh, hey, Rad. Oh, there it is. Do you mind if I just borrow this for a sec?
My lunar module! How will I ever get back to Earth? Oh, hey, Red. This isn't how we play space.
When I came back, there was sewage and water everywhere.
We all know getting to another planet can be hard, but oxygen not included shows us just how hard staying there can be by putting you in charge of running your own space colony. And it comes from the studio behind the excellent survival series Don't Starve.
And you'll need plenty of those survival skills here too, because as the name suggests, just having enough oxygen is a constant struggle. You know, putting me in charge of a space colony is a bad idea. To start off, you just take your pick of randomly generated worlds, based on one of a few different asteroid types, which have different environments that set the difficulty. Then you pick your starting crew of 3 duplicants, or dupes, and the rest is about building a colony that can survive.
You have no direct control over anything. Instead, you lay out blueprints of what you'd like to get done, such as digging or building, and your dupes will get around to it when they can. In between, they need to look after themselves by eating, sleeping, and of course, using the bathroom.
And beneath those cutesy graphics, there's an insanely detailed simulation going on. Every breath turns oxygen into carbon dioxide. Bodies and machines output heat. Germs and diseases can spread without proper hygiene. Always wash your hands. Just about everything you could possibly imagine is tracked and measured.
Yeah, so there's quite a steep learning curve, and it doesn't do the best job of teaching you the basics. New players are just dropped in and left to figure things out themselves.
There are a few little tips and hints that pop up, but it's hard to know how everything works until you see it all in action. Some more detailed tutorials or example worlds or something would have been helpful.
Yeah, especially for the more advanced mechanics. As it is, I was often just left wondering what I should be doing or how things work. But thankfully, this game has built a healthy online community, which means there's no shortage of videos and guides with some really genius solutions to problems.
And there's no shortage of problems either. They're thrown at you constantly. Just when you've got your food supply sorted, you realize you're running out of water, or your base is slowly filling with deadly gas, or starting to overheat and cook, you can never get complacent.
And overcoming those challenges feels genuinely rewarding, because often you have to build all these intricate moving systems. From a working sewage and water recycling operation to fully ducted air conditioning. A big base becomes this huge house of cards of interconnected systems, which feels like it's one small disaster away from all coming crashing down.
One of my favorite things is when you get to the point where your dupes can really start exploring the asteroid. Once you can build environment suits, you can start to send them out deeper and deeper into more dangerous areas, where you'll find geysers that spew out precious materials, little mysterious bases, and you can even crack through the surface into space. There's an awesome sense of discovery that just keeps you wanting to dig just a little further.
The dupes can be a little frustrating though. I mean, they're hopeless. If there's even the slightest possibility for them to get stuck somewhere, they seem to find it. And if you're not paying attention, before you know it, bam, they've suffocated.
Yeah, but I kind of like that. Not the suffocating, but the fact that you need to plan everything very carefully. Often in sim games, there's no real stakes. You can leave them running and nothing bad will really happen. But I wasn't brave enough to walk away and make a sandwich without pausing this one.
Very true, but I do like taking care of the dupes, because if they don't have their needs met, they start to get stressed, and that is not pretty. Stress is very bad for you. Your dupes also earn skill points, which you can spend to determine what kind of jobs they can do. But it also determines how high their morale needs to be to avoid getting stressed out. Having a nice colony to live in with nice food to eat and nice decor ultimately means you'll be able to develop better dupes.
Yeah, and you'll need to level up your dupes quite a fair bit to get to the end game. Here you start to build rocket ships that you can send off to transport special materials back to your colony.
You'll need those too, because some materials can completely run out, which is something else I love about this. It really forces you to think about everything you have and use it smartly. It's all about reusing and recycling and making sure nothing goes to waste. Because you only have one asteroid, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Which is something we could all do with learning. But yeah, it's a super clever little game. There is a lot to get your head around, which might put new players off, but a few hours in and you'll start to see how everything works. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, there's such deep simulation going on here, which might not lead to thrill-a-minute gameplay, but if you love figuring out problems, exploring, and dreaming up clever contraptions, then you'll love this. I'm giving it 4 as well.
Good morning, Australia! It's time for the scoop with me, Darren! Joining me is my very special guest, Jem.
Hi, everyone.
First on the agenda, we have another mind-boggling Darren's Challenge! In Kerbal's space program, what are the names of the 2 moons that orbit Kerbal's home planet of Kerbin? Answer at the end of the scoop.
Nice one, Darren. More moon stuff.
Well, Jem, it's not often we get to celebrate the 50th anniversary of humans landing on the moon.
The opportunity comes around once in a blue moon, you might say.
Well, by most definitions, a blue moon occurs once every 2 to 3 years or so. So this occasion is even more rare. Now to the news. This year's Summer Games Done Quick speedrunning event took place at the end of last month in the United States. With speedy gamesmiths taking on games like Celeste, Tetris Effect's Expert Journey Mode, and even Minecraft, to name a few. Over $3 million was raised for charity. Well done, gamers.
That's a record-breaking amount for the event too, Darren. I think Mario himself would be proud of that coin collection.
Affirmative. Moving on to news that the Cuphead DLC, The Delicious Last Course, has been delayed to 2020. While a new trailer showed off a bit more of the upcoming culinary capers, the devs explained that they want to make sure the final product matches the quality of the original and is produced in a healthy way for the team making it.
Always a good idea. Best to let that last course simmer and let all those delicious gamey flavors really develop. Oh, did you hear there's also plans for an animated Cuphead TV series, Darren?
I did. And speaking of games being made into TV shows, Village Roadshow has acquired the rights to TV adaptations of the video game Myst. The mysterious adventure puzzle game was first released in the 90s, spawning several sequels, remakes, and ports. It is still considered to be influential on many of the atmospheric exploration games of today.
Oh, but I have heard of other media companies previously looked into producing TV or films in the Myst universe over the years, and it's never happened. So who knows, we might actually see something materialize.
Could be a must watch, though. Am I right, Boatmeal? He says I'm right. Now, what do you say? Should we have an extra scoop? What have you found for us this week, Jem?
Well, you may have heard of button spamming, but this takes that idea to a whole new level. A modder known as Insert Controller here made a controller for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from an actual can of Spam. I'm hoping the can had been emptied first, though.
Affirmative. Maybe it was his gaming snack. Now, before we wrap up all the fun, it's time for the answer to Darren's Challenge! The 2 moons that orbit planet Kerbin are, of course, the Mun, which has parallels to the Earth's own moon, and Minmus, a small, icy moon.
Have you ever been to the moon, Darren, or the Mun?
Oh, Mumbot and I have been going to the moon since I was first assembled. I'd love to show you some holiday slides of my moon trip sometime, but that's all the time for this week. Until next time, good night, Australia. Oh, I can't wait to start planning our slide night.
Great, Darren. Yeah, I can't wait either. Oh. Okay, let's see. Move this here, and then this here, and I think we're done. What do you think, Will?
Jem, I'll be honest, I'm not a massive fan.
Oh, really? Why? You're right. I'll just scrap the whole thing and start again.
Wait, Jem, no!
Oh, no!
first Super Mario Maker put fans in the driver's seat of game design, allowing us to create and share our own levels with the rest of the online community, basically allowing us to torment Mario and each other in ways Nintendo never could.
And Super Mario Maker 2 takes that original concept and expands upon it, adding in new features, modes, and even a story campaign, which kicks off when Undo Dog accidentally destroys Peach's castle.
So Mario, ever helpful, sets out to collect enough coins to fund a brand new one. To do this, you'll be tackling the ever-growing pile of levels or jobs assigned to you by the Taskmaster. There are over 100 pre-made levels to explore and conquer, ranging from creepy crypts in Super Mario World, to sunny stretches in Super Mario Bros. U, to lava-lapped landings in Super Mario Bros.
Right out of the gate, there is an impressive range of levels here, which is fantastic, not only because it offers up, a heap of replayability, if the building side isn't your thing, but if it is, it also provides you kind of like an inspiration board for your own level creation.
After Dreams on the PS4, though, I was a little hesitant to return to the world of level building, but thankfully, this is both easier to navigate and get a grasp of. You can select which version of Mario you want to play with, which can affect the different elements you'll be able to use. Once you've got that down, you can go to town setting up your course, complete with enemies, obstacles, and even sound effects.
As someone who tends to get overwhelmed by choices, I found the snappy little menus really helpful in keeping everything organised, and not quite so intimidating from the get-go. You can find more customization options like sloping terrain, block types, enemies, and bonus items all in their own sections, making navigation and placement a breeze.
And like you said, Jem, there's plenty of inspiration available if you run out of ideas. My first few levels were a bit of a mixed bag where I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, but I had an approximate idea of what I wanted. Then I'd go and see something like Mario riding a snake made of blocks, or navigating a level made out of seesaws. So I'd come back, tinker with the idea a little, and eventually leave with something vastly different from where I started.
Such is the nature of creation. I, on the other hand, got a bit silly with things and made a giant Darren filled with Goombas. Don't tell Darren. The point is, though, you can make just about anything fit into this wacky world with the tools provided. But if you are on the more serious side of things, there is also Yamamura's dojo. This is where Yamamura the pigeon and Nina the not pigeon guide you through a series of tutorials. They go all the way from the basics of level design to more advanced lessons like treating your players fairly and understanding the importance of pacing and how that will affect a player's experience. I actually learned quite a lot. And the best part is, if you want to learn these things, it's up to you to go find the answers. You're not forced into hours of unnecessary viewing if you just want to get in and build. There's just so much packed in here. It's impossible to go through every detail without this being an hour-long review. So overall, what did you think, Will?
Well, like you said, it's a jam-packed experience with so much to explore and create. While the online side of things needs improvement, the level creator is incredibly well done, with a real focus on being accessible to all skill levels. Just be careful around the Undo Dog. I'm giving Super Mario Maker 2 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
What I like most about this is you can be as silly and nonsensical as you want with your creations. You're not bound by strict guidelines or limited options. And with so many pre-made levels to explore, as well as the tutorials, there is such a wealth of level design knowledge to tap into. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Oh, did you want to have a go at redesigning the set?
No, I think I like everything how it is.
Oh.
Okie dokie, hokey pokey, let's get some answers for these questions.
Yes, I am pumped like a basketball, so let's get bouncing with this video from a gaming canine companion.
I'm Jesse, the cutest puppy gamer in the world. Now I would like to ask you a few questions. 1. What was your favorite game at E3 this year? 2. What is your favorite gaming console of all time? And can you please do these emojis?
Oh, emoticon time.
And P.S. I don't think any of you are noobs. Thank you for answering my questions. Cutest puppy gamer in the world, out.
Oh, thanks, Jesse. You are a very, very cute puppy gamer indeed. But I I have to say, I think my puppy Boatmeal would definitely be a contender for title of cutest puppy gamer in the world.
Yeah, but Boatmeal's not strictly a puppy anymore, is he?
Oh, he'll always be a puppy in my eyes.
Well, anyway, to answer your question about our favorite games from E3, for me, it's gotta be LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. And I did like the look of The Legend of Right. I love seeing all those art styles flowing together.
Oh, it was very clever, wasn't it? Nice highlights there, Will. I'm always excited to check out the new Just Dance, but I'm also pretty interested in Way to the Woods and, of course, Skatebird.
Skatebird does look pretty great. Now to our favorite gaming console of all time. I have a lot of fond memories of the PlayStation 1, sitting on the floor because the controller cable was nowhere near long enough. It was my first console and it had some classics like Croc the Legend of the Gobbos and Croc 2.
For me, I was always more of a PC gamer than a console one growing up, but I do love all the consoles equally and in different ways. In some ways, you could say they're like my children.
Right, well, moving on to some questions that are quite on theme with the whole moon landing anniversary thing. They come from Queen of Sailor Moon and Vaporeon, who is in Silver Millennium Warwick and inside all DVDs in Queensland. Hello, GGSP. If you don't answer to my question, I will send my Moon Guardians after you. Question 1, are there going to be any new PC games? Question 2, is there going to be a new game released for Wii? Question 3, and the final, is there going to be a Steven Universe game? And Darren, do these.
Oh, there's some things for Darren. Better give him a call.
Hello?
Hi, Darren. Oh, just some emoticons, please.
Double Q. Wink. Night owl.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
And thank you, Queen of Sailor Moon and Vaporeon, fighting evil by moonlight. In answer to your first question about whether there are going to be any new PC games, well, yes, of course. There are always going to be new PC games. Games are released for the PC all the time.
That's right. Some that should be coming to the PC later this year or sometime next year include games like Minecraft Dungeons, Spelunky 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Spiritfarer, an adorable-looking game about a sugar glider called Away, and there's sure to be others too.
Now, to whether there will be a new game released for the Wii, well, while this console is no longer in production and virtually no developers are making games for the Wii at this point, Just Dance seems to be sidestepping the trend and continues to make new installments compatible with the Wii, for now at least.
Finally, to whether there will be a Steven Universe game, well, there are already a few Steven Universe games around, like Steven Universe Save the Light, which came out at the end of last year, or the turn-based RPG Steven Universe Attack the Light for mobile. There could be more to come, I guess.
I don't like the sound of attacking light. Anyway, some more moon-related questions with these from Moldy Cheese in Moldy Cheeseland.
Wait, how is that moon-related?
Because the moon's made of cheese, you know, and I imagine being out there for so long, it would be moldy. 1, what mod would you like to have in the real Minecraft? 2, what is Darren's favorite color? 3, can you name 3 games you gave 5 rubber chickens? If you do not answer, I will teleport Moldy Cheese to the Ask SP desk. P.S. Rad, do this.
Thanks, Moldy Cheese, but please do not send your Moldy Cheese here. It would make the Ask SB desk smell so weird.
Oh, yeah. Now to what mod we would like to have in the real Minecraft. Well, there are thousands of Minecraft mods out there. I mostly only play vanilla Minecraft because why mess with a good thing? But some cool mods or add-ons that I've seen include Journey Map, which maps your Minecraft journey as you explore. Or the Twilight Forest, which has a cool mythical fantasy kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, the Minecraft community is a creative bunch. There's also a mod called Advanced Rocketry, which is kind of like Minecraft meets Kerbal Space Program. Now for Darren's favorite color, we should probably get him back on the line.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Oh, hi Darren, it's us again. Moldy Cheese is wondering what your favorite color is.
Oh, how nice to be asked. I do have quite the eye for design. My favorite color is perhaps a Waluigi-like aubergine. Oh, Mumbot of Pearl. Oh, I've got it! Xanadu!
Xanadu is a color?
Affirmative. It's a greyish-greenish sort of hue, composed of 45.1% red, 52.5% green, and 47.1% blue. And let's not forget the 1980 musical film of the same name, starring Olivia Newton-John. Xanadu. Bum, 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 bum.
He's singing again. Thanks, Darren. Bye.
Goodbye, Darren.
Hang up.
Right, now to 3 games that were scored 5 rubber chickens. Well, I haven't had the pleasure of doing that just yet, but I do know that Gem gave the Banner Saga 3 a perfect score.
She sure did. And I scored 2-point Hospital of 5 and also Moonlighter.
Very nice. We actually have a special online playlist called Best Games Ever that you can check out, which lists a bunch of high-scoring games.
Ooh, I'll definitely be rubber chicken that one out.
Me too. Right, well, I think that's all we have time for now. If you have a question for us, head on over here and send it in.
Oh, and remember, video questions that appear on the show will receive a fine and/or dandy sticker pack and GGSP pin. You can see some stickers here. They're really cool. And just in time for winter, we'll also send you a warm and stylish GGSP beanie. Oh, yes, very warm, very soft, very beanie.
Why do you think they call them beanies?
Because they warm your bean, your head.
Oh.
Beanie.
That's all we have time for today, but next week on the show, rev up your bandicoots because we'll be reviewing Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
Which is faster, Bandicoot or Hedgehog?
I think Crash could give Sonic a run for his money, actually.
Well, if you like to go fast, you should totally check out my online-only review of Forza 4 LEGO Speed Champions. Everything is awesome.
Hey, nice one, Will. Until next time, be nice, have fun, and keep gaming. Gem out.
Rat out.
Will out.
Darren out. The fastest land mammal is the cheetah, actually.
Is that because it cheats?